Right, hello Vivek. It's Friday the 13th. Now, I don't know about you, I'm not superstitious, but we're starting this an hour late, aren't we? We've had a few hassles trying to get this working. So maybe it's because it's Friday the 13th. Hey, no, I don't believe that. But anyway, we're here now. So it's been a long day, hasn't it? And it's pitch dark outside, but we're still getting going here. So it's good to do our catch up, and just to remind viewers what we go through. We start off with our Just a Minute slot, where we talk about who we are, introduce a little bit about our business and our passion for what we do. Then we look at the week gone by, about some highlights about what we've been up to. So we're not going to give a blow-by-blow every minute of our calendar, so viewers don't need to worry about that. Then we're going to do the road ahead, which might include something Christmassy maybe for next week, like finishing off the Christmas cards and stuff. And then we've got our trick or treat. Maybe we should rename that for Christmas. I don't know, but we'll think of something. So that's what we're going to do. The agenda's on the screen behind, and our contact details for both of us, as usual, will be in the description below for the YouTube channel video. So Vivek, introduce yourself, please. I can't remember who you are. Joke.
Namaste. My name is Vivek, and Vivek Technology Integrators is my company. I believe in living a simple life. I believe in thinking differently. I'm proud to share my beliefs with Steve Jobs and Leonardo da Vinci, who said, "Simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication." Technology needs to be transparent. It needs to be invisible to the users, so that the users can get on with what they are doing. But it is not usually the case. There are many reasons why that is not so. But technology often gets in the way. Social media, it has undergone so many changes. People used to just hire someone else to handle their social media, which is not really the case anymore. It doesn't really work anymore like that. But you can still hire someone to handle your technology. So don't be taken for a ride by the cowboys. Let the Indian handle the technology. And my aim is to make things simple so that you can enjoy your life. Simplicity is what I aim for. So my details, as usual, are in the YouTube description. Vivek Technology is my company, and the banner up there you see is my Google Plus ID. If you go into Google and key in, unfortunately you'll have to key in the entire name, but I can't help you there. But or you could search for me by keying in the hashtag integrate simplify life. Probably that is going to be easier for you, but anyway, either way you can find me. So that has been my Just a Minute, and I'm giving the blue box back to you, Corinna.
Okay, thanks Vivek. But of course, if people are dyslexic or English is not their first language, they might struggle with your spelling. So there you go. So maybe they need some help from me as well in that case. But anyway, so who am I? I'm Corinna Shepherd, and I'm the creator of Dancing Kites Creative Learning. And as you know, we've been working on changing my strapline slightly this week, and so I will say it now and see whether anybody notices what the difference is. So I'm passionate about unlocking your potential through creativity and interactive learning. So it's changed subtly, but it actually reflects how my brand has developed over the recent months and years. So if you imagine the dancing kite in my logo could be representative of an area of your life, or it could be representative of your whole life. Is your life, think ahead to 2014, if your life is the area that you're talking about, is it all designed? Is it clear where you want it to go? Is it dancing up in the sky? Is it happy? Is it free? Is it fulfilled? Or is it not? Is it perhaps on the ground in a packet, blank, you don't know what it is, or you've designed it but it hasn't taken off yet? So all these kinds of things is what I can help with. I am a dyslexia specialist, and my work over the years with young and old with dyslexia has really added to my understanding of people and how they tick and how they learn. So everything that I do, whether it's in a training capacity or a coaching capacity or mentoring, business development, whatever it is, around thinking and learning, it actually encompasses all of it. So there's quite a lot that I can do in different ways I can help. So the best thing is if you look at my website, www.dancingkites.co.uk, to understand a little bit more, and happy for you to contact me, any of the viewers who perhaps want to understand a bit more. Just perhaps arrange a confidential Skype chat to discuss where you're at and whether I'm the right person to help you. If not, I can suggest other people, because I have a range of people I'm working with who might be able to add value to what you're doing. So that's our just a minute. We're now going to look at the week gone by. So Vivek, have you been sitting there 24/7 being on Google Hangouts with the great and the good and not sleeping, or have you actually done other stuff? What's been going on in your week this week? My end, your voice has gone and your picture's frozen again. Could you just repeat that in case it's gone onto the video? And again, we apologise, but it is live. So
yeah, I was interacting with David F. Leopold, and he was telling someone to go to bed.
Okay.
So because David himself wakes up at 2:30 in the morning.
Oh yes, I remember you telling me. Oh.
And he finds that someone else who is 2 hours behind his time still awake and and interacting with lots of other people online on Google Plus. Yes. And so he was telling that other person, I won't embarrass that other person by telling who it was, but he is quite a popular, well-known figure. So he was telling him to go to bed.
Okay, yes.
But I was just responding to what Corinna, what you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have a passion and an interest there, doesn't it, in what you're doing? That's good.
Yeah. And yeah, I have been taking part in quite a few hangouts and so on. Haven't been to any networking events as such past week. Tuesday I was participating in a hangout with Ray Hills. He hosts a event regularly on Tuesday evening our time. For him, he's in Canada, so for him it's lunch time. So he calls it Google Plus Lunch Bunch. So there were quite a few people participating in that, and I have been having interactions with all these people. I would just throw in a few names.
Drop a few names for us. Go on.
Scott Scowcroft, and he probably is going to figure in my next bit as well. Jessica Devell, and Randy Bowden. And David Leopold. David Leopold has been interviewing quite a few people using the Hangout tool.
Yes.
So, including me, but he interviewed people like David Emerland and Ronnie Binzer, quite a few people. And I have been fortunate enough to be interviewed by him, and I shared the link with most of my friends. And Corinna, you responded positively with that, and
Yes.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Wednesday I watched another couple of hangouts. One was Dennis Deuce. He's a salesman, and he has a few novel ideas how to use Google Hangouts, the tool that we are using now,
Yes.
to promote. And he seems to be doing quite a few weird and wonderful things.
Wow.
He's quite creative, and he's actually a salesman.
Okay.
And then there was another hangout which I watched. This is Christine de Graaf. She's a programmer. And she has her own show with another person, Mia Voss. If you Google Mia Voss, you'll find she's quite a popular person, actually.
Okay.
And in a way, I'm actually following her lead. She this Mia Voss, in her show, she keeps mentioning all different names who are popular and famous and who interact with her. So
yes. Apologies for the phone in the background.
Thursday I was watching another hangout by Eric Inga. I think he's a Englishman, probably settled in the States, because his company is Stone Temple Consulting, and his logo is actually the Stonehenge. So he's a prominent SEO expert, and now that I heard people say that SEO is dead, and long live SMO. SMO stands for social media optimization. So
okay, a new one on me.
And he was talking about his show was about creating awesome knockout content for social media engagement with different people and so on. And he was talking to Jesse Vodillo. Jesse, he's a prominent person. He actually was he's a young chap, I must say. He started. He was quite instrumental in bringing about communities within Google Plus. So
okay.
As you often say, Corinna, I am watching all this good and the great people interacting, and
that's great.
And then I end up interacting with them as well, which is what Google Plus allows you to do. And
raising your profile, isn't it?
And that actually brings me to another aspect, which is I'm not trying to bring down another popular social network, but still, that still is the fact. Facebook is for people who you already know, and it's for personal, family, and more social. And some of the brands actually have got into the social media, and they have actually spoiled the whole atmosphere on Facebook. And Facebook is changing its terms and conditions, and they are now saying that if some of these brands want to interact with their friends, their so-called friends, because it's so-called.
Yeah.
Because brands, big brands. So the Facebook is trying to force these brands to pay them some revenue.
Right.
And brands are getting quite annoyed. And anyway, that was part of the discussion which happened during this hangout.
Okay, good stuff.
And then I was on the event page. I was interacting with Scott Scowcroft, as I mentioned earlier, and since I interact with Scott Scowcroft and Jessica DeWell, these two have their own show, which goes by the name of Jesse Scott. I think it goes with Jesse plus Scott plus you. So it's a hangout which happens during the wee hours of the morning. So I don't watch it live, but I watch the recording. But they have quite a lot of interactions happening, and they are trying to start some. They are planning on monetizing.
Yes.
Google Hangouts and how you can use it and so on. So that has been my week.
Good.
So yeah, I'm giving the blue box back to you.
Thank you. Yes, lots of really useful information, and we had a chat before in the green room, didn't we, about some of the stuff, and again, stuff that we could work on together that would help promote both of us what we do and the way we do it. So lots of exciting things, and I look forward to learning more about that. So again, you're a very useful contact for me, Vivek. Thank you. No, it's good because there's a lot to learn. It's always changing, isn't it? As you say, it's like oh well, they work on this and this doesn't change, and it's very frustrating. I mean, I am an IT trainer, is one of the things I do, but even so, trying to keep up with it because it's not my main focus. You know, my main focus is about unlocking potential and all of that kind of stuff. So IT is more of a tool, but so it's good to have someone who's specialising in it and getting up to speed with the knowledge and so on. So the week gone by for me, all sorts of things. Obviously, it's not long till Christmas now, and I managed to get my last 2 books I've so far published converted to ebooks. So it's Through the Magic Window, which is the first of the step 3 books that I've got. So it's poetry with activities. I've had converted into an ebook, and I've also had an associated workbook to go with it. If viewers aren't sure what I'm on about, if you go to my website www.dancingkites.co.uk/shop, then you'll see the products that are available. So I've got some printed copies still, but I'm moving more towards ebooks. So I started off my brand with 1 book for various reasons. I've written over 30 books, and they're waiting to happen, but you know the time hasn't been right yet. So that's a step 1. Then there's Will the Wizard, which is a step 2 book, and then Through the Magic Window, which is step 3. So I've now got versions of ebooks of all 3 of those, plus associated workbooks. So obviously they're based on having activities to reinforce the learning for dyslexic children. Yes, one option would be to have an app made and then people can do it on the screen, but that's just far too prohibitively expensive. And also it's nice to get the child actually with a piece of paper and a pen or pencil and physically doing the writing and filling in the stuff and got the pencil control there. So I've been under a lot of pressure to get that done in time and create a couple of e-shots to go out to former customers and also parents of children who come to be at my centre, the Dancing Kites Creative Learning Centre. And then just to add to the pressures, that there isn't enough with Christmas as well, as people will know, and all the other stuff to do with that, I noticed there were issues with the link to my shop. And, you know, I've got a web designer who's not Vivek. Someone who's been maintaining my website, and suddenly things are not working the way that you think. And you think it's all been checked out and programmed and tested, and it isn't. And then you check and it seems to be, and suddenly something's changed, and it's nothing that I've changed. So anyway, it was a bit frustrating, especially as my web programmer was going to South Africa for 3 weeks for Christmas, and although he's in touch, because he maintains what I do, this absolutely had to work. I'm sending out an e-shop, and I want people to click on the link or click on the image to take them to the shop, and then it's not working. So I had to put a little bit of pressure onto him to get that resolved, which we did. But so now that the items are up in the shop, and the e-shots have gone out, and I did a resend today to the people who hadn't opened yet. So hopefully it might make some sales. If not, at least it's publicity. People know what I'm doing, and talking about it here is helpful too. Ideal stocking fillers, really, because they're not that expensive, and that will work on the iPad, etc. And hopefully next year we'll be able to look at maybe some sort of Kindle compatible versions and so on, and sort of grow that. But Rome wasn't built in a day, and there's so many things to work on to build a good brand and a brand of integrity, and where things work and everything, and have the right people around to help. So again, thank you for that. You have helped me with some of the web stuff, haven't you? And which I'm very grateful for. It's just, there's always more to learn, isn't there? But it's good because it shows things are learning, and that we're obviously professional. We want things to work well. Had the usual, not usual, had some training and some coaching, so it's dyslexia, some mind mapping. Did a vision board session. It's been a week of vision boards actually this week. So I had a session with one of my long-term coaching clients, and that was really interesting because we met up. I've been doing quite a few Skype sessions with him because that's part of how I work with people. And then because I offer the creative learning approach, people can also have vision boards and mind mapping and so on as part of the mix. And so I said, well, let's meet up for a 2-hour session, so somewhere local. And he was very keen to look at the vision board aspect, and he came to me absolutely bubbling with all the vision he's got for next year, and he's going to do this and that, and I won't give too much away because you might know who he is, and I don't know. He's asked me to keep it confidential, but he's lots of really exciting things going on. And I was thinking, well, he's got a very clear vision already. He's clear in his thinking, partly I hope because of the work I've been doing with him and the coaching materials that he's been using. Does he really need a vision board? I didn't say that to him, but in the back of my mind, I talk to some people who I think really need a vision board, and they don't want to know. But he was keen to give it a go, so I thought, okay, and I explained a bit about why it's worked for me, and some of it's work in progress still, but some stuff is just amazing stuff has happened. And it was quite magical, really, as I said, and he was clear about what he did, but it just really helped unlock the process of his thinking that bit more. And he went away. He needs to work on it because he came up with some ideas, but he's going to put them together and so on. And it was a really valuable session. And again, this whole idea about talk therapies, which can be very successful, and myself have had a lot of coaching with talk therapies, and it's been it's been life-changing for me in many ways. But what I add to the way that I do coaching is the creative thinking, the creativity, the creative learning. And so things like vision boards and mind mapping, and helping people to visualize stuff and use their imagination is really powerful, because it's actually using a whole brain way of working. And a lot of what I'm doing comes out of my work as a dyslexia specialist. So I've learnt that for a dyslexic person, they absolutely have to have it. But guess what? It works for other people too. I've done stuff with you, haven't I? And
yeah.
That, and I wouldn't say you're dyslexic, but hopefully some of it you've taken a bit of getting used to. But hopefully you feel it's added something to the way that you've done it, and so on. And certainly it's helped you, deepen your thinking, and in a way it gets people beyond the, well, I ought to be doing this or I need to be doing that, to what they really are about and what they want to do. So anyway, another long topic, but just thought I'd give a bit of background to that. So I also have done 2 foresights, as we call them in full networking, or talks for other people who don't know what it is, entitled The Magic of Vision Boards. And I did one on Wednesday at High Wycombe. I did one this morning in the early hours. I had to drive off in the dark to get to this place in Milton Keynes. And both times it went down really well, and people just responded so well. And they've all got something to take away. It's inspiring for 2014, which was my idea. So there wasn't time, obviously, to create a vision board. I mean, with my other client, we were there for 2 hours, and he didn't finish it. So, but having said that, on Wednesday, somebody did virtually a whole vision board in 10 minutes. You know, she just took up these magazines and she powered through, and she found, you know, relevant words and pictures and so on. And it was just amazing how, you know, I had a whole pile of magazines which I put out randomly on tables. How everybody, virtually, I think nearly everybody, found things that were relevant to them in the magazine they had, and that is something magic. And you know, I think there's magic to vision boards. There's also a bit of science and psychology as well. But it's nearly Christmas, so let's call it magic, eh? So I was delighted with that, and I've had both of them videoed. And I've got to check the quality of them, and I might need to pick your brains, Vivek, because one of them, the lady concerned who did it, she actually stopped the video while she was doing her own vision board bit, and then she restarted it. So I've got 2 videos to combine into one, and I'm not sure how to do that yet, so I might need to pick your brains on that later. And then the one today, so we obviously knew about that, so I then took over the videoing while the video person did their little bit of vision board, hand it back, but the lighting wasn't so good in the room, so I might need to do the Wednesday one and work out how to put the 2 together. But anyway, hopefully that will go up in due course, and I'll put that on my website and my YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/dancingkitescreative, which has got over 40 videos now, partly through these chats that we have once a week. So yeah, it's all about to help people to understand more about what I'm doing, you know, give tips about dyslexia and changing perception, as well as the weekly stuff. So all good stuff there. Done some other networking as well, reconnecting with people through my email newsletters. People seem quite keen to receive my newsletter. And again, if people are watching and want to receive the newsletters, a way of keeping in touch, then go to our website. On the homepage there's a form to fill in. I'll be delighted to send you an email newsletter. So into the new year I'm going to do that a lot more, really with the view of, as you know, with network, it's not just about, you know, selling to you necessarily. It could be that the person next door needs your services, and it's very much about that being reciprocal, being supportive, and looking out for one another. And I seem to be getting more people like that coming into my life at the moment. And you know, I'm there for other people as well. So you know, I may not obviously need everybody's goods and services, but if I have an understanding of what they're doing, then you know, I may know somebody. And it may not be now, maybe in, you know, a month's time, 3 months, 6 months time, who knows? But as you know, sometimes, you know, I've got clients who, you know, hung on to my advert or my referral for a year or 2, and suddenly they get in touch. I've got a new pupil like that. So you know, contacted me over a year ago, and now, you know, Billy's coming to me every week. So that's the way it goes. It's all about sowing seeds. So yes, ongoing, you know, the marketing, social media, you know, the SMO, which I'm getting involved in, clearly, which is good. The e-shots, following up. I think I'm beginning to run out of steam a bit in terms of, you know, Christmas is getting nearer, and I'm still keeping going. Got, you know, several network events next week as well, because, you know, I'm just keen to talk to as many people as I can about what I do and make connections. And I've actually got now quite a few follow-up calls to make in the new year. I've got one next week. I met somebody, a creative person, making some handmade goods, which is another area that I'm tackling, to help offer support, and I will talk more about that probably in the new year now. I've got somebody who's interested in talking more about how I might help her make her kite dance a bit more in a variety of ways that I can help. And making time for my creativity. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in my trick or treat, but absolutely I've done that in the mix. A few bit of singing, you know, a few concerts and Christmassy stuff, and I've come back from them absolutely energy. Suddenly yesterday I came back, we've been singing at Old People's Home in the evening, thought I'd come back, you know, pretty tired, and I suddenly did a lot of paperwork, you know, filing bits of paper that I've been sitting looking at for weeks. It's in a pile, nothing urgent there, and I suddenly had the energy to do it. So there you go, but I'll talk more about that in a moment. So time's moving on. I want to go make some soup for my tea. So so that's the week gone by. Come on, so to the trick or treat, and I believe, Vivek, you've got a presentation that you want to show us, that you've enhanced from last week or something you've been working on. So if you'd like to just explain a little bit about that, and then we can have a quick look at that.
This is a training program that I have been working on. This is about Google Plus. Plus.
The first bit I missed again. You went off to Venus or Mars, I think. Perhaps could you just repeat what you just said, just in case it comes out on the video again? It's something we can't help. We've done all the settings, but just say that little bit again, just in case.
Yeah, I was saying, people often ask, why should one bother with Google Plus?
Okay.
And the answer to that is actually a bit harsh one, but it is, how do you spell Google Plus, please? It's a bit harsh, but that's the reality, because Google is running Google Plus. So when you put anything on Google Plus, it stays with Google. So when you are concerned about your ranking in Google, you have to put stuff on Google Plus, and if you don't, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. So this presentation, I'm trying to do a screen share and run through it. This is a part 1 of a series. All presentations in this series will try to answer 3 questions. First one would be why, followed by how, and concluding with what. And the question is, did someone ask why should anyone bother with Google Plus? The answer, as I already said, is a short one, but a bit harsh. How do you spell Google Plus? If you have a business and a related website, you would have realized how important Google is. So, if you have a website and you want to appear prominently in Google search, you would do very well when you get involved with Google Plus. Please note that I am using the words get involved with. By that I mean you need to be actively involved with Google Plus. You cannot just hire some agency and ignore what they do. The olden days of hiring SEO experts and making them do all the work for you while you do something else are well and truly over. Since the Hummingbird update, Google's algorithm gives lower importance to keywords. Social signals have gained higher importance. This means anyone who is creating content such as articles, videos, blogs, such as what we are doing now, and that attract more interaction with people would get prominence. And those who use only keywords without providing real value would be penalized. So, when you have created good content, the easiest way to spread it is to share it with intent. Let me repeat. Create good content, share it with intent. Sharing happens spontaneously when people find that you are sharing and spreading their content. Google Plus is all about including people into your circles and encouraging others to put you in their circles. More about circles in another presentation, but easy and quick way to get people to put you in their circles is to take the initiative yourself and put them in your circles. After that, you share their content. When you do that, they get a notification which encourages them to include you in their circles and then share your content. Let me share a few tips with you today. When you share someone else's content, maybe from their website, include a very good high resolution photo or a picture that relates to the content. Please note that Google Plus often pulls in a photo that it finds from the website. But it is strongly recommended that you use a photo that is different from what Google Plus pulled in. By the way, it is Hulk Hogan in that photo, and he appears in that video that is linked there. Hulk Hogan, of course, is very popular in United States. May not be that popular here, but he is a very popular figure. I suspect our Basil Meany may be aware of Hulk Hogan because he's a bodybuilder.
Ah, right.
The title of the post should preferably appear in bold. And this can easily be achieved by enclosing the title in an asterisk markup. When I say markup, it's an easy thing to do. You actually need to put asterisk at the beginning and end of the title, that's all. You also need a good and relevant hashtag. Hashtags help Google to index your content and show it in search results. The hashtags are neither owned nor controlled by anyone. This is unlike Twitter, for example. Twitter, there is a website where you can register your hashtag and so on, but it's not the case with Google+. With Google+, everyone can make any text as their hashtag. For example, I use a tag integrate simplify life as my hashtag in my posts. But here's a warning. Be careful when you use a hashtag. The hashtag you use should be very clearly relating to the content. Never simply dump a hashtag when it does not relate to the rest of the text of the post. And please note that if you misuse a hashtag and people find that your content does not really relate to the hashtag that you are using, they are likely to remove you from their circles. A quick summary: you find interesting people and encircle them proactively. Add value and share their content with the public. After sharing their content, you earn the moral right to share your own stuff. That's the end of part 1. I hope it has been useful. Thank you. So that was a small presentation.
That's good. Useful.
And I'll give the blue box back to you.
Okay. Yeah. Just aware time is moving on, so we'll just I'll just finish off with this, and then we'll wrap up. So yes. What shall I talk about today? Well, there's so many different aspects to what I do, and when I'm talking to people, particularly at the moment, it's something I'm always aware of. It's about what energizes us and what motivates us, and being true to our authentic selves, who we really are. And it's coming up to Christmas, and whether people believe in Christmas or recognise or whatever, it's still, everything's in the culture, isn't it? It's around everywhere you go, and there's pressure to do certain things, and and if you've got children, there's all that pressure, and then there's business stuff to do, and it's coming to the end of the year, and sort of wrapping stuff up, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just aware that people can be very stressed and drained by stuff, and this can be throughout their life, really, throughout the year, and that the overriding sense is that you have to pay the mortgage, you have to pay the bills, you have to put the NG in, you have to get the business, and push for that, which is very understandable, and we've all been sort of drawn into it. But I very much want change people's focus and actually get them to think about, why they are here in the world, what they're particularly good at, what energizes you. And I've learned that myself. I was touched on that earlier. I was talking about my creativity. That the older I get, the more creative I'm becoming, and it's a real part of who I am. And I think there's something very profound about the creative energy. That's for another topic, and I'm going to write a blog entry about it as well. But for me, it has become not an optional extra. Oh, I'll do it if I get time, whatever. When I make time, like today, I've had a really busy day, but I took an hour out to go around to a friend and make some Christmas cards. And I came back, and actually, I could do with sitting down, having some food and having a sleep in front of the television, probably. But actually, I'm quite energetic still, so I've got a lot of energy. I would say I've got more energy now than I had when I was, say, 20 years ago. And people's expectations as they get older is that they have less energy. And the reason for that is because I'm working out who I am. I'm working out what gives me that positive energy, and I'm using it for good. So I'm not just selfishly going off and drinking under the table or something like that. You say, well, that's what gives me energy. It's deeper than that. And I just wanted to refer to a few points I got in an email for some time ago by someone who's a coach, and it's just with one or two quotes, and I just thought it'd be useful to think about it. And it's somebody called Fiona Harold, which people may have come across, and I went on a training workshop with hers earlier this year. Very successful, very confident. Her approach isn't for everybody, but there's some real nuggets, and really liked a lot of what she said. So this is taken from an excerpt of an email she sent me a little while ago. So she said here, "You are here to express you in the world. You are here to bring forth that fabulous combination of talents, abilities, and sheer genius that only you have." And I really believe that, and that's what Dancing Kindness is about. And people are quite reluctant to that, or they can't. They think, oh no, I've got to pay the bills, I can't do that. And actually, they are the poorer, and we are the poorer if you don't do that. I just quote from Dyer, who I'm a big fan of. He says, "Don't die with your music still inside you. Don't get to the end of your life and say, what if my whole life has been wrong?" And that's underlying what everything I do for Dancing Kindness is all about. Absolutely, I help people with dyslexia, I help people who are creative or to hand make things. I can help people with IT, I can help people in a range of ways. But it's this underlying, actually finding out who you really are and then expressing that. Because when we really do that, stuff really starts to happen. And she mentions a few ways to what she calls your thing, spot your thing, okay? Now I'm not going to go through them all, but I'll just mention a few of them. And certainly this has been my personal experience and people that I've been working with. So the first thing is, it's the thing you are bursting to do. Okay? It's the thing that you dare not think about not doing now or in the future. So it's, I've got to do it. I live and breathe it. I've got to do it. It's the thing that you would do just for the joy of it. Okay? You do it regardless of the money. And this again is a classic thing where we have a real struggle. Because you think, I've got to do the shoulds and the oughts, I've got kids to bring up, I've got a mortgage to pay. Believe me, I'm in the same situation. I have these pressures, and in a time of real pressure over the last few years, financial pressure, I've actually discovered the value of this, and maybe partly it's being allowed to happen so I can actually share that with other people. So, I am making more of a priority of this, and it's been vital, and I like to do that for other people. Another point that she mentions, which again I agree with, is it's the thing that doesn't feel like a struggle. Doors open and there's a flow of cooperation to assist you along the way. And I absolutely have that with the creative stuff. Yeah, absolutely. And just stuff, like the vision board stuff. Sitting doing a vision board session actually doesn't feel like work to me. It is work, but actually it's just lovely to see someone develop and that. And there's a real flow to it. It doesn't feel like work. Another point that she mentions is it's a thing you've always been doing. It's been a feature of your life all along in some way or other. And probably with you, Vivek, I mean, we can talk about this later, maybe the simplify and integrate thing. I know the simplifying life is something that's very key to you. That's why we started talking originally. That's probably been something that maybe has always been part of who you are. We've not certainly come to it more recently, but it's there, it's uppermost in what you do, I know. And for me, it's about unlocking potential and in people and helping them to be who they really are. And I can think back to when I was a child, I was in some way, I was looking at that, I wouldn't have put it in those words. So it's not just I might do this week, but next week I'll do something else. I think, so I think everybody has something like that, but a lot of people haven't even thought about it yet. And so encourage that maybe people who are watching this, think about over Christmas you get some chance, the kids are watching the TV or something, you've got a bit of time, a bit of space away from your business to think about that. And there's lots of good stuff around personal development stuff. Again, if people want to contact me, if it's Christmas Day, I might not reply straight away, but want to talk about it more. But I just think it's valuable. It's invaluable for who you are, and also just for our society and our community. So, big topic. But again, that's my thing. My thing is to help you find your thing, and that's what absolutely, I live and breathe it. And yeah, there's lots of what I do feels like hard work. Getting up early to go out to a networking meeting feels like hard work. But when I'm talking to people who are interested in stuff, it doesn't feel like work. So anyway, that's just sort of a little bit of a flavour for what that's about. So time is up now. We've had to sort of cut short other bits really because of the timing. So, but I think it's time to sign off now. And so for me, I'll just say, remind you, I'm Corinna Shepherd from Dancing Kites Creative Learning. I'm passionate about unlocking your potential through creativity and interactive learning. Vivek?
It's time to sign off. My name is Vivek. As you already know, integrate, simplify life. Thank you.
Thank you.